Hey everyone. If you're like me and always trying to stay on top of what's happening, especially those crucial developments that matter for UPSC and beyond, there's something big we need to talk about.
Definitely.
The Disaster Management Amendment Bill 2024 just passed in the Rajya Sabha.
Right. And it's really interesting because this whole thing ties into this trend we've been seeing with political parties and all these freebies being offered.
Oh, yeah.
Free electricity, cash transfers, subsidies, you name it. And it makes you wonder, right?
Well, absolutely.
What about the state finances? How are they handling all this?
Exactly. So that's where I think this bill comes in. So what is it really all about? What's the main objective?
Well, at its core, it's about setting clear boundaries,
Okay.
for how the funds from SDRF, State Disaster Response Fund, and the NDRF, the National Disaster Response Fund, can be utilized, really ensuring that these funds are used strictly for what they were intended for. Genuine disaster relief.
Right. And I know Union Home Minister Amit Shah actually spoke about this in Parliament.
Oh, yeah, he did.
What were some of the, key takeaways from his statement?
He was very firm, actually, in emphasizing that these funds are to be used solely for disaster relief.
Okay.
And that this is in line with the guidelines set by the Finance Commission.
Okay.
And he even pointed out situations where some states have requested amounts far exceeding what's actually allowed under these guidelines.
Wow.
So, you might have a situation where a state is asking for, say, 50,000 crore rupees when really only 5,000 crore is permissible.
So really trying to drive home that point.
Absolutely.
And how does that connect back to the freebies that you mentioned earlier?
Oh, he was very clear on that.
Yeah.
He explicitly stated that these disaster relief funds cannot be used to compensate for, freebies that have already been given out.
Oh, wow.
It can't be like, oh, we gave all this away, now let's use disaster funds to cover the hole in the budget.
Right.
And he even went so far as to say that chief ministers are welcome to contact him directly.
Okay.
If they have any confusion about how these funds should be used.
So really trying to clear the air.
Absolutely.
So just to kind of recap what we've discussed so far.
Yeah.
The bill was passed on March 25th.
Okay.
And the big news is really this separating of disaster relief funds from being used for, as you said, these freebie schemes.
Right.
And with the Finance Commission playing a major role in how these funds are allocated.
Yeah.
But it sounds like it wasn't a totally smooth process, though.
No, not entirely.
Yeah.
There's definitely some opposition.
Okay.
Some felt the bill was incomplete. They called for a review by a joint parliamentary committee.
Okay.
And a particular point of contention was that the bill, as it's written, doesn't seem to address relief efforts from man-made disasters.
Oh, that's interesting.
Yeah, so that's a gap that some are concerned about.
Okay, so why is this amendment so important? What are the kind of broader implications here?
What's really notable, I think, is the emphasis it places on accountability and transparency when it comes to public funds meant for emergencies, right?
Yeah.
Like, we have to make sure this money is being used properly.
Exactly.
And when we zoom out and look at the bigger picture, the political landscape, this bill is very much part of that whole debate about this freebie culture that's become so prominent.
Yeah, totally.
Because on the one hand, you have these welfare schemes, which are important.
Sure.
But the argument is that they need to be funded.
Right.
Through planned budgets, not by dipping into emergency funds.
That makes sense.
Right. That's the core of the issue.
It really makes you think about the balance that we need to strike, right?
Totally.
Between making sure people have what they need right now, but also being prepared when disaster strikes. And I want to turn to our listeners now. And those of you who are UPSC aspirants in particular, because this is something that's crucial for your daily mains current affairs preparation.
For sure.
And, definitely something that could pop up in prelims too.
Absolutely.
So think about it. What could be the long-term effects of this bill, both on the financial health of states and on their ability to effectively deal with disasters?
It's a big question, right?
It is.
And at the heart of it all, the key takeaway is that disaster relief funds now have this legal protection.
Yeah.
They can't be used to cover the costs of these freebies, these populist schemes.
Right. It definitely leaves us with a lot to consider, especially with, as you mentioned earlier, these disasters, both natural and potentially man-made, becoming more and more frequent.
Right. How do we find that right balance?
Exactly.
Between taking care of people and being ready for the unexpected?
It's a tough one, but an important conversation to have.
Couldn't agree more.
And for all of you listening, if you found this deep dive helpful and want to delve deeper into this or any other topic we've covered, please like, subscribe, and leave a comment with your questions.
Definitely.
And don't forget, all of this was based on reporting from The Hindu.
That's right.
So until next time, stay informed and keep those brains buzzing.
Keep learning.
All right, take care, everyone.